In the last video, we had a page where we clicked a button and it showed the records. Now what we want to do is update or change the records in our database. Okay, we want to edit them, right? So what I have done is I have changed or slightly modified this file select, the select.php file we used in our last video. So here's how I changed it. Okay, you see, all right, still now the names print out, right? But if we see here, if I roll my mouse over it, you can see down in the lower left, the bottom left corner, there is a URL, right? A link. And it shows there, you can see friend ID equals 6, friend ID equals 5. If you look in the lower left corner, you see how it's changing? Based on where my mouse is, what link I'm looking at or what link I'm hovering over, it changes, okay? And because I've got a separate page now where, let's say we go to David Jones, and it goes over here to this page called update, and we can see up here in the address bar we have something here, something a little strange, something a little different. Well, this is what is called a query string. Okay, a query string. And it is used in a GET request, right? Remember, when we just click on a link, not on a button, right? Not on a button inside a form, but when we click on a link, we create a GET request from the browser over here all the way over to the server, with our hosting account or with our VPS account or our dedicated server, whatever, where we have our code. So, boom. And what it does is this. Well, let's take a look at the code here. All right, so now we recall, if you guys recall, we have some SQL here which pulls out everything from the Friends database, and we come down here and we send it out to well, okay, so here's where it's changed. All right, here, whoops, wait. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so when we click on execute, which is this here, it says show DB records. All right, so that creates a post request. Now, we did something a little tricky here, guys, and this technique is very common in PHP. So you need to kind of, if you don't get it the first time, just tell yourself, well, that's okay. Maybe, it'll make more sense to me tomorrow, or it'll make more sense to me the day after that. And that's the way we learn, right? It's natural. Don't be angry. Don't get angry with yourself, right? If you don't get it the first time, it's a little bit tricky. All right. So here's our while loop, right? Here, our while loop starts here, and it ends down here. But you'll notice we have some new PHP tags in there. So what happens is this. If you'll notice, you might be able to see there's a slightly different color between here and here. That's because this is HTML. All right? It says echo out any HTML in this area, but it will only do it if this returns true, right? So this is a little different, right, than before. Up here we have a PHP tag and a PHP tag here, right? And no matter what happens, all this HTML is going to be sent to the browser, okay? But here we've done something a little different. We have a while loop, which is conditional, all right? And so what PHP says is, I'm only going to send the stuff in between this bracket, right? This bracket here and this bracket here over. And you know what we could do is, well, okay. So all of this stuff, it is conditional. It won't necessarily be sent out to the browser, okay? Only if this one is true. And so what we've done is I've created a hyperlink and then inserted some more PHP tags in here. Here's a hyperlink, right? You see update.php. And this, when we see a question mark, we then have after it, in our browser you can see friend equals 5. This is what's called a name-value pair. Again, a name-value pair, and it's in the query string, and it usually will go so these are called name-value pairs. A pair just means two things, right? It means two things together. So we could have anything. We could have last name equals Smith or whatever, and they come after. When you see in the query string, okay, in the address bar there, this question mark, you then know what comes after it will be some name value pairs. So here friend ID equals, and what we do is we echo out to the screen the friend ID in row, and I'm going to show you where we get that row. And then what we do is we close off this hyperlink tag right here. So here is its hyper reference, and then we have a quote here, and then we have a quote here, and so you can see that what ends up being sent to the browser right in this area will just be a single number. Okay, it will be a single number. So that will translate this into a standard hyperlink. Now let's take a look. Let's go back here and let's take a look at the page source. Let's look at our page source. Okay. Now here's our hyperlink, right? Okay. And it says update.php, and we have a question mark. So now we're going to have name value pairs. A name, friend ID, and is 1. Here friend ID is 2. So this way, when we travel over to that new page, we're going to be sending in the get array. Okay, let's go up here now and let's look here. Let's look here. Okay, over here. Remember how before we had this global array of values called the post array? Well, now we have one for a get request. Because remember, we're going to this page here. We're going there via a hyperlink, that A tag, right? We're not going there, we're not getting there via or by a button, okay, in a form tag. Okay, if we go to a page, if we render or show a page because of the click of a button in a form tag, then we have a post array inside the data packets, okay, right? Or data packets, whatever. All right. So now we have a GET request because we've traveled there simply by clicking on a hyperlink, okay? And we can send data. When we want to send data to the next page, when we use a simple hyperlink, okay, we use one of this query string with a name value pair. And so at the next page, this is available to us. It's available to our page. Okay? So it says 5. It sees 5 up here. And then when it renders the page, it has that data 5. Okay? And so we're using that right here. All right? In our update page, what we do is we establish a database connection. You'll remember from the previous video, in the video I did before, we establish our database connection here,